My wife locked our bedroom door for the 6th night in a row. But that was not what stopped me in the hallway. What stopped me was hearing my own name. If Mark pushes back, we use the statement. By Friday, he won't be making decisions in that company or this house. I stood there, 41 years old, in my own home in Columbus, Ohio, realizing the locked door had never been about privacy. For weeks, Elise had gone into our bedroom after dinner with her laptop and a black binder. Then the hallway printer started running after midnight. Then the office password changed, then changed back before I could ask why. Then David, her cousin, stopped meeting my eyes at the shop. My first mistake was thinking it was marriage stress. My second mistake was believing Elise would never turn our business into a weapon. I built that repair shop with my younger brother, Ryan. That night, behind the locked bedroom door, David said, "Don't ask him. Make it look like we're protecting the business from him." Elise answered, "If I can show the family he's unstable, the attorney will listen." I knocked once. The room went silent. Elise opened the door 3 inches and blocked the gap with her shoulder. "Why are you standing there?" "Because I heard my name." "You heard wrong." Behind her, David folded papers into the black binder like I had caught him closing a register. I asked, "What statement?" Elise stared 1 second too long. Then she smiled like I had embarrassed myself. "This is exactly what I'm talking about." That sentence hit harder than yelling because it sounded rehearsed. David stepped into the doorway and said, "Maybe go cool off, man. We're trying to keep this from getting formal." I almost walked away. That was what they counted on. I had walked away from disrespect for years because I thought staying calm meant staying fair. But calm is not blind. I said, "Move." I did not touch her. I did not touch David. I walked past them only after she stepped aside. The black binder was open on the bed. The first page was a printed statement with my full name on top. It said I had become erratic, that employees were uncomfortable, and that Elise and David were protecting the company from my behavior. It was a draft resolution naming Elise as temporary decision-maker for the company. David was listed as operations lead. Ryan was not listed at all. My name sat under one cold phrase: restricted access pending review. I took one photo before Elise snatched the binder shut. David said, "See? This is what we mean." Then I noticed a yellow sticky note stuck under the laptop. 3 names were written on it: Elise's parents, my Aunt Linda, Ryan. Under Ryan's name, Elise had written, "Get him alone first." That small note scared me more than the statement. The locked door was not the final move. It was rehearsal before the room. Elise followed me into the hallway and raised her voice just enough for the house to hear. "You are scaring me." "No, Elise, I'm documenting." Her face changed for half a second. Not fear, calculation. The next morning, I called a local attorney before the shop opened. He said, "Mark, a draft is not the whole story. If they started contacting people, you need the trail. And do not confront them alone again." That was my failed first move. At the shop, David arrived with coffee for everyone. He put a cup on Ryan's desk and said, "Rough week for Mark. Be patient with him." Ryan looked at me. That was how fast a lie worked. By noon, Elise sent a message to our family group chat. "Please don't pressure Mark right now. We're dealing with some serious concerns privately." Privately. After locking me out of my own bedroom for weeks, she used privately. 5 minutes later, my Aunt Linda called. "Are you okay? Elise sounds scared." I said, "I need you to listen, not decide." I told her only what I heard, saw, and photographed. Linda went quiet. Then she said, "Elise called me yesterday." "What did she say?" "She asked if I had ever seen you lose control." I said no. Then she asked if I would be willing to say you were under too much stress. That was the second hard sign. Elise was not reacting to a problem, she was building one. I asked Linda to write down exactly what Elise had asked. I don't want to be in the middle of your marriage. I know, I said, but you are already in the middle of her plan. That afternoon, the shop tablet locked me out of the scheduling system. Elise said it was a software issue. David said, maybe don't touch operations until everybody is comfortable again. Ryan heard that. For the first time all day, he looked away from me. That hurt worse than the locked door. I asked him to step outside. He said, Mark, just answer one thing. Did something happen last night? Instead, I handed him the photo of the draft resolution. Ryan read it twice. Then he whispered, why is my name not on this? I said, that's what I need you to remember tonight. That was the first time I stopped defending myself and started setting the room. I sent the photo, the group chat message, Linda's note, and the tablet lockout screenshot to my attorney. He told me what I could legally record in conversations I was part of and what not to do. Revenge only works when you do not become the person they are describing. So I stopped arguing in rooms Elise controlled. I stopped defending myself in group chats. I stopped giving David reactions he could repeat later. I let them believe silence meant I was cornered. Friday night, Elise told me her parents were coming over to talk as a family. Ryan arrived last, looking like a man walking into a room where everyone had already been told which chair to take. Elise picked the dining room. She placed the black binder in front of her. I placed my phone face down beside my water glass. Nobody wants to attack you, Mark. David nodded like a witness who had practiced. Her father leaned forward. Son, sometimes a man needs to accept help before damage is done. The room was already halfway hers. Elise opened the binder and read, Mark has become increasingly unpredictable in business decisions and home discussions. Ryan looked at me. I could see the question before he said it. Is any of this true? That hurt more than David's smirk. Elise kept reading. Until he receives help, company access and decision-making should be temporarily handled by me and David. Then Elise made her mistake. I did not want to do this, but after last night, when he forced himself into the bedroom, I knew we could not wait. Before I could speak, her father said, Mark, why didn't you just stay out of the room if she asked you to? For a second, everyone looked at me like the door mattered more than the plan behind it. I picked up my phone. Before anyone signs that, I want the whole room to hear what was said before I opened that door. David said, You recorded us? I recorded a conversation I was part of after I knocked and you both spoke to me. My attorney was already on speaker. He said, For clarity, Mark, only play the portion after you entered the conversation. I played the audio. My knock. Elise asking why I was standing there. Me saying I heard my name. Her saying I heard wrong. David telling me to cool off. Then my voice asking, What statement? The pause. Then Elise saying, This is exactly what I'm talking about. I stopped it there. Elise said, That proves nothing. I nodded. Correct. That's why I brought the rest. I slid Linda's written note across the table first. I slid the group chat screenshot next. Then the photo of the draft resolution removing me before any family meeting ever happened. Ryan picked it up. He looked at David. You put your name on this? David said, I was trying to keep the business alive. Ryan stood so fast, his chair scraped the floor. You were trying to take it. Elise turned to her father. Dad, say something. He looked at the papers. Then he looked at me. Then he looked back at his daughter. For one painful second, I saw him reach for the version where she was still just scared. Then he read the sticky note photo. Get him alone first. His hand dropped from the table. Elise, he said, what is this? My attorney spoke through the phone. Everyone here should understand that a false statement used to interfere with business control or a legal process can have consequences. Mark has already sent my office copies. Company records will be preserved, and any access changes attempted using this statement will be challenged. Elise whispered, You called a lawyer? No, I said. I called one after you turned our bedroom into a war room. Mark is making this sound worse. We were preparing in case he reacted badly. I read the exact message Linda had forwarded that morning. Elise to Linda. If he raises his voice, don't calm him down too fast. We need them to see it. That was the message that ended it. Elise reached for the page, but her mother caught her wrist. Is this real? Elise looked at David. David looked at the wall. That was his confession. Ryan closed the black binder with one hand. You are both off company systems tonight. Elise snapped. You can't do that. Ryan said, no, but the operating agreement can, and Mark and I can. The next hour was not clean. Elise cried, got angry, blamed David, then said I made her feel ignored. My attorney arranged a formal notice the next morning. Ryan and I removed Elise and David from company access pending review. The draft statement never reached the office Elise wanted to send it to, and the people she tried to turn into witnesses became witnesses to the plan. A week later, Elise asked if we could talk alone in the bedroom. I looked at that same door. For a second, I saw myself in the hallway again, hearing my name like I was a problem to be managed. I said no, because I had finally learned the difference between privacy and secrecy. Privacy protects a marriage. Secrecy prepares a weapon. We talked in my attorney's conference room instead. No locked door between the truth and everybody else. Elise signed a correction stating she had not witnessed the behavior she described. David admitted he helped prepare the draft resolution before any real review. Their reputations did not explode overnight, but the room around them changed. Her parents stopped repeating her version. Linda started saying exactly what she saw. The last time I walked through that bedroom, the black binder was gone. The door was open. It did not feel like victory. It felt like air. I packed 2 shirts, my watch, and the notebook from the first company job Ryan and I ever landed. Elise stood in the hallway and said, "You opened that door and ruined everything." I looked at the empty room behind her. "No," I said. "I opened it before you could." Then I walked out, not loud, not proud, not celebrating, just free enough to close the door behind me.
So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this fictional story. Let me know what your thoughts are, what you think about that, and see you in the next. Thank you so much.